What if I told you that something enormous, something you can't yet see, is quietly unfolding in your life right now? A shift so profound, so deeply rooted in your spirit, that it could change everything you thought you knew about your path and purpose. And what if the only thing standing between you and that transformation is whether you recognize the signs before they pass you by? Most people miss it. They ignore the signals, dismiss the strange feelings, and keep going through the motions, as if nothing is happening beneath the surface. But if you found your way to this video, there's a part of you that already knows. Something is shifting. And it's not just any change, it's big, life-altering big. Before we dive into the 8 powerful signs that your life is about to transform, hit that like button and subscribe, because what we're about to uncover could very well be the message your soul has been waiting for. So if you've been sensing something strange lately, if your world feels slightly off, or like the universe has been whispering to you in moments of silence, watch this to the very end. Because one of these signs might be the very wake-up call that changes everything. Sign 1. You feel a deep sense of restlessness. Have you ever woken up and suddenly felt like your entire life doesn't fit anymore? The job you once fought for now feels meaningless. The people you used to laugh with now seem distant, like you no longer belong in their space. Even your daily routine, the structure that once gave you comfort, suddenly feels like a cage. There's a strange, unsettling pull inside of you, an itch you can't quite reach, a persistent, almost haunting sense that you're meant for something more, even if you can't yet name what that more is. But here's the truth. This isn't boredom. This isn't laziness. This isn't you losing interest. This is your soul speaking up. This is a quiet rebellion from within, a sign that you've outgrown the life you're living. It's not just a feeling, it's a signal, a whisper from your higher self, from the universe, saying, you don't belong here anymore. And this is the very first and most important sign that a major life shift is on its way. If you ignore it, it won't disappear. It will only grow louder. At first, this restlessness may feel confusing. You might even doubt yourself. Why do I feel this way? Is something wrong with me? But here's the truth. Nothing is wrong with you. In fact, everything is beginning to align for you. Your spirit always knows before your mind does, when it's time for change, time to grow, time to evolve. That's why the things that once brought comfort now feel stifling. Why familiar routines suddenly feel unbearable. And here's where it gets intense. If you continue to ignore that restlessness, life will begin to force change upon you. You'll face unexpected losses, sudden breakdowns. Things you thought were stable may collapse, not because life is cruel, but because you're not meant to stay where you are anymore. You see, when you're lingering in a chapter that's already closed, the universe won't let you settle. It will shake the ground beneath your feet, not to hurt you, but to move you, because something greater is calling you forward. And when you resist that call, frustration begins to rise inside you. A silent battle starts. You know you're meant for more, but you feel stuck, unsure where to begin, afraid to make the leap. That's when fear creeps in. The fear of the unknown, the fear of leaving behind what's familiar, even if it no longer feels right. But here's what you need to understand. Restlessness is not your enemy. It's your gift. It's the very first crack in the wall that separates you from the life you're truly meant to live. It's evidence, proof, that your destiny is bigger than your current comfort zone. So don't fight it. Don't numb it. Don't drown it out with distractions. Embrace it. Because this feeling isn't here to destroy you. It's here to break the chains that have quietly kept you small. It's here to set you free. Sign 2. You're losing people. Rapidly. Have you ever noticed that just as your life starts to shift, people around you begin to disappear? Friends who once felt like family stop calling. People you relied on grow distant. Some leave without a word. Others fade out slowly until one day you realize they're gone. At first, it hurts. It feels like rejection, like something's wrong with you. You start to question everything. Did I do something wrong? Why are they pulling away? You replay conversations in your head, searching for answers, for clarity, for closure. But here's the truth. This isn't happening to punish you. It's happening to prepare you. When something life-changing is about to enter your world, the universe starts clearing the space around you. It begins to remove the noise, the distractions, the drama, and most importantly, the people who don't belong in your future. Because not everyone is meant to walk the full journey with you. Some were only meant to play a role in a single chapter. And when that chapter ends, so does their place in your life. This is where most people struggle. They try to hold on. They chase those who've already drifted away. They try to breathe life back into relationships that were never built to last. But what they don't realize is this: holding on to the wrong people can delay your destiny. And here's where it gets intense. Just before your breakthrough, some people will betray you. You'll see sides of them you never imagined. They'll become jealous, distant, unsupportive, sometimes even cruel. Why? Because they can sense your growth, even before you fully recognize it yourself. And instead of cheering for your evolution, they feel threatened by it. They fear being left behind by the version of you they were once comfortable with. The truth is, the version of you that others were once comfortable with is fading. You're evolving, growing, stepping into a new chapter. And some people simply can't handle the fact that they no longer hold the same place in your story. But here's the deeper truth. Losing people isn't a punishment. It's a filter. It's life's way, or the universe's way, of making sure that only the right people remain as you rise to your next level. Think about it like this. Imagine trying to climb a mountain while dragging bags of dead weight behind you. That's what it feels like to carry people with you who were never meant for the journey ahead. Some relationships, no matter how deep they once felt, can only survive if you stay the same. The moment you shift your direction, grow your mindset, or step into your higher self, those connections start to crack. And that's okay, because real love, real friendship, real support always grows with you. So if you're in a season right now where people are leaving, don't panic, don't chase. And most importantly, don't beg for answers that your growth has already outgrown. Instead, trust the process. The people who are meant for you, the ones aligned with your next chapter, they'll stay. The rest, they were never meant to reach your destination in the first place. Let them go. Because when something truly big is about to happen, the universe makes sure that the right souls are standing beside you when it does. Sign 3. Strange. Synchronicities keep happening. Have you ever felt like the universe is trying to tell you something? You glance at the clock, and it's 11:11 or 3:33. You hear a strange word in a conversation, and then suddenly that same word shows up everywhere. On TV, in a book, even from the mouth of a stranger. You think of someone from the past, and minutes later, they call or message you. At first you might brush it off as coincidence, but deep down, you know it's not. Something bigger is at play, something your logical mind can't fully explain. This is synchronicity, and it's one of the most powerful signs that your life is beginning to shift. These events aren't random. They're messages, aligned moments created by the universe, God, your higher self, whatever you believe in, to get your attention. Patterns, numbers, encounters, they begin to form a language beyond words. And only those who are truly awake can start to understand it. The more you begin to notice them, the closer you are to a major breakthrough. But here's where it gets intense. The stronger the transformation that's approaching, the louder and more frequent these signs become. It often starts subtly, a number here, a song there, a dream that feels unusually vivid. But if you keep ignoring them, they'll only grow more frequent, more precise, more impossible to explain away. When you ignore synchronicities, they don't go away. They get louder. The numbers 1111, 333, 555 start showing up everywhere. The coincidences become too perfect, too eerily timed, almost as if life itself is trying to guide you somewhere specific. And that's exactly what's happening. When synchronicities appear, don't just look at the sign. Look at your life in that exact moment. What were you thinking about? What decision were you on the verge of making? What emotion were you wrestling with? These are clues. Clues that you're either on the right path or that you're being redirected to something greater. But here's the truth that most people miss. Synchronicities aren't just signs. They're invitations. The universe isn't flashing numbers or planting symbols just to entertain you. It's nudging you, gently at first, then firmly, toward a decision, a shift, a leap. It's saying, pay attention, something important is unfolding. And yet, this is where so many people get stuck. They see the patterns, they feel the pull, but they do nothing. They keep living the same way, clinging to routine, ignoring the fact that life is practically shouting for their attention. And when you ignore the signs, you miss the doorways that come with them. Opportunities pass. Timing fades, and the shift that was meant for you quietly slips away. Not because it wasn't real, but because you didn't act. So if you've been noticing synchronicities, don't brush them off. Don't laugh them away. Lean in, ask yourself, what is life trying to show me? What am I being guided toward? Because the truth is, you are being led, not just to a new experience, but to an entirely new level of existence. The only question is, are you paying attention? Sign 4, unexpected opportunities appear. Now imagine this. You're going about your usual routine, another typical day. Nothing feels different. And then bam, something completely out of nowhere happens. You receive a job offer, even though you weren't even looking. You run into a stranger who introduces you to someone that could change your entire direction. An idea suddenly flashes into your mind, so clear, so powerful, that you feel like it was planted there on purpose. First it feels unreal, too good to be true. You hesitate. Am I really ready for this? Should I even trust it? But here's what most people don't realize. These moments are not accidents. They are invitations. Life is opening doors for you. Doors that lead to your next chapter, your next breakthrough, maybe even the version of yourself you've been waiting to become. And before you know it, the opportunity is gone. That's what makes this moment so intense. Opportunities don't wait. When life hands you a golden ticket, it doesn't linger forever, hoping you'll gather enough courage to take it. It presents itself boldly, and if you don't step through the door, it closes. Maybe not forever, but long enough that by the time you finally feel ready, the moment has already passed. Think about it. How many times in your life have you looked back and thought, if only I had made a different choice in that moment? Maybe there was a chance to start something new, but fear kept you frozen. Maybe you met someone who could have opened a new chapter for you, but you never followed up. Maybe a powerful idea sparked inside your mind, but you let it fade away. And months, or even years later, you saw someone else bring that same idea to life. This is why you need to pay attention. When something unexpected shows up, when an opportunity drops into your lap, it's not coincidence. It's alignment. It's the universe shifting things in your favor, setting the stage for you to step into a new reality. But it only works if you're willing to leap. So next time life presents something unexpected, don't brush it off. Don't overthink. Don't wait for perfection. Instead, ask yourself, what if this is the moment I've been waiting for? What if this is the exact sign that everything is about to change? Because the truth is, it just might be. And the only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is the choice you make next. Sign 5. You feel a strange urge to do something new. Have you ever woken up with a sudden, inexplicable urge, an inner pull to do something completely different? Maybe out of nowhere you feel like packing up and moving to a new city, even though you have no logical reason. Or you feel a deep craving to start something bold and unfamiliar, a creative project, a business, a skill, something totally outside your comfort zone. Or perhaps you suddenly want to learn something new, a language, an instrument, a craft you've never even thought about before. It feels random, strange, unjustified, so you dismiss it. It's just a passing thought. It'll go away. But here's what most people don't realize. These urges aren't random. They're signals. These urges, those whispers you can't explain, are messages from your intuition, from your higher self, from the part of you that somehow knows what's coming, even before your conscious mind does. This is where transformation begins. Your spirit always senses the shift long before your logic catches up. And when something big is approaching, you start to feel pulled, not pushed, toward things, places, and ideas that match your next level of reality. But here's where it gets intense. Most people ignore these feelings. They brush them off as a phase, a random spark, a passing wave of inspiration. They let doubt take the wheel. Why would I do this now? I don't have enough time. What if it doesn't lead to anything? And so they overthink, they analyze, they wait, and in doing so, they miss the moment, the exact moment their future self was trying to guide them into. That's the difference between people who stay stuck and those who evolve. The ones who change their lives are the ones who listen. Now consider this. What if that sudden urge to move, to leave the city, the job, the routine, isn't irrational, but a sign that your energy no longer fits where you are? What if that project you're drawn to, the one outside your comfort zone, isn't just a random idea, but the exact key to a future you haven't even dreamed of yet? What if the hobby you feel like learning isn't just for fun, but a hidden preparation for something far bigger coming your way? These impulses are not meaningless. They are breadcrumbs, clues leading you toward your next chapter. But if you ignore them, life will begin forcing you to change. The discomfort will grow. The feeling of stagnation will tighten around you. The things that once fulfilled you will now feel hollow, empty. Because when your soul is ready to evolve, staying the same becomes unbearable. So if you're feeling the urge to start something new, to shift, to move, to grow, pay attention. Don't wait for logic. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because the truth is, these urges are your future self calling you forward. The only question is, will you listen? Sign 6. Obstacles are suddenly everywhere, just when you've made a decision to move forward, to change, to evolve, to act on something that matters. Bam. Everything starts going wrong. That job opportunity you were excited about falls through. That relationship you thought was strong begins to crumble. Those carefully laid plans start to unravel, one after another. It feels like life is working against you. Here's what you need to understand. When things start falling apart right before something important, it's not a coincidence, it's a test. Right before a big breakthrough in your life, obstacles intensify, plans unravel, people change. Your resolve is shaken, but not because life, the universe, fate, or whatever you believe in, wants to stop you. No, it's trying to prepare you, to see if you're truly ready for what's on the other side. Because change doesn't come easy, and breakthroughs never arrive without resistance. In fact, the bigger the breakthrough that's coming your way, the bigger the test you'll have to pass to earn it. So ask yourself this. Have you ever noticed that your hardest moments in life, the ones that tested you the most, came right before a major turning point? It's like life is saying, prove how badly you want it. Will you keep pushing forward when it's tough? Or will you give up the moment things start to fall apart? Most people choose the easy way out. The second things get messy, they think, maybe this isn't meant for me, and that is exactly why they never see what was waiting for them on the other side. Here's the raw truth. Every obstacle you're facing right now isn't a dead end. It's a doorway. The universe isn't blocking you. It's shaping you. It's stripping away what no longer serves you. It's teaching you lessons you must learn before stepping into your next chapter. Because if everything were easy, if success, growth, and happiness came without struggle, you wouldn't value it. You wouldn't be ready, and worst of all, you wouldn't be strong enough to handle it. Think of it like this. A diamond isn't formed without pressure. Gold isn't purified without fire. And a stronger version of you cannot be born without going through the storm. Every delay, every setback, every disappointment you're facing is not happening to you. It's happening for you. It's carving out the version of you who can handle the life that's coming. So next time you feel like everything is falling apart, pause and ask yourself, what if things aren't falling apart, but falling into place? Because that's exactly what's happening. If you can endure the struggle, if you can hold on through the uncertainty, you'll discover that what's waiting on the other side is bigger than anything you've ever imagined. Sign 7. You start seeing the truth about people and situations, and then something else happens. Something subtle, yet life-changing. You begin noticing things you never saw before. People, conversations, environments. They suddenly feel different. At first it's subtle. You notice the forced smiles, the laughs that don't reach, the eyes, the half-truths people tell just to keep the peace. But then something shifts. Suddenly you can feel the hidden intentions behind their words, the envy behind their compliments, the manipulation wrapped in their kindness. It's like a fog has lifted, and for the first time, you're seeing people for who they really are, not who they pretended to be. This realization hits hard. You look around and think, have people always been like this? The answer, yes. But before now, you were too trusting, too busy, too distracted by the noise of life to truly notice. Now, You see with brutal clarity. You realize the friends who only showed up when they needed something. The family members who, deep down, resented your growth. The relationships built on convenience, not real connection, and it hits you like a punch to the gut. Some of the people you trusted the most were never really in your corner. But it's not just the people. The situations around you begin to shift too. That job you once dreamed about now feels like a cage. That relationship you once clung to for security now drains you. The daily routines that once brought comfort now feel suffocating, like you're stuck in someone else's life. You start asking yourself the questions you've avoided for too long. Why am I still here? Why am I putting up with this? Why did I ignore these feelings for so long? This is the awakening, and once it begins, there's no going back. You can't unsee the truth. You can't pretend to be blind to what's been right in front of you this whole time. And this, right here, is where the real shift begins. Because clarity is the first step toward transformation. When you finally see things as they truly are, you begin to recognize what must change. You realize that the old version of you, the one who tolerated it all, no longer exists. But here's what makes this part so difficult. This awakening isn't comfortable. It's painful. It's heartbreaking to realize that some of the people you loved never really loved you back. It's devastating to accept that certain connections were built on lies. It's overwhelming to question everything you once believed in, everything you thought was true. That's why most people fight it. They ignore the signs, cling to toxic relationships, and convince themselves they're just being paranoid or overthinking. Why? Because facing the truth means making hard decisions. It means letting go of what no longer serves you. It means stepping into the unknown without guarantees. Here's what you need to know. When your old reality starts to break apart, the friendships, the habits, the stability you used to cling to, it's not the end. It's the beginning. It's life, or the universe, making space for something greater. It's the process of clearing out what's false, so you can finally make room for what's real. And when this happens, your instinct might be to fight it, to hold tighter, to try and rescue what's already slipping away, but don't fight it. Don't cling to what is already unraveling, because the very moment you let go, the moment you stop fearing the truth and start embracing it, everything begins to change. That's when you step fully into the life that was always meant for you, but had no space to exist while you were still holding on to the old. Sign 8. You feel an unexplainable sense of peace amid the chaos. Now here's the paradox, and one of the clearest signs that your life is about to change forever. Everything around you feels like it's falling apart. People are walking away. Plans are crumbling. The structures you relied on feel shaky, unstable, unfamiliar. Your old life seems to be slipping away with no warning. And yet, you're not panicking. Deep down, beneath the confusion and shifting tides, there's a strange and unshakable sense of peace. You can't explain it, but you can feel it. It's as if something inside you already knows. This is not the end. This is the beginning. While most people in chaos feel lost, afraid, desperate to return to the familiar, you don't. Yes, things are changing. Yes, it's uncertain. But something inside you keeps whispering, this is happening for a reason. Something bigger is coming. You may not have the full picture. You may not know what's on the other side, but you don't need proof. You can feel it. And that feeling, that inner calm, it's confirmation. Think about it. How many times in life have you gone through storms only to realize later that they led you to something better? How many things had to fall apart so that something far more meaningful could fall into place? This moment is no different. The struggles, the losses, the discomfort and doubt, they're all part of the process. Everything is being rearranged, not to break you, but to build something better. But here's the truth. Only those who can stay calm in the storm will make it to the other side. Most people panic. They let fear take over. They start doubting themselves, doubting the journey. Worst of all, they try to run back to the past. They beg for life to go back to how it used to be, not realizing that the old life is exactly what's being cleared away. For a reason. But you're different. Because even in the middle of the chaos, even without knowing what's next, you carry something powerful. This sense of peace you feel amid the noise, the chaos, the unknown. It's not random. It's not an accident. It's not denial. It's not naive optimism. It's a signal, a quiet message from the deepest part of you, telling you that you are exactly where you need to be. The storm? It's temporary. The confusion? Won't last forever. Soon, maybe, even sooner than you expect, everything will begin to make sense. Because on the other side of this current mess, this uncertainty, this unraveling, a breakthrough is waiting. A life bigger, bolder, and more aligned than the one you're about to leave behind. But here's the final question. Are you ready for it? As we wrap up, remember this. If you're experiencing any of these signs, the restlessness, the shifts, the losses, the synchronicities, the inner urges, the obstacles, the clarity, the calm in the chaos, don't ignore them. They are not random. They are not meaningless. They are not happening by chance. Your life is shifting, and something incredible is trying to make its way in. But it can only enter if you're ready to embrace it. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments which sign hit you the hardest, which one made you feel seen, and don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video that could shift your mindset or your life, because the universe is always speaking to you. The only question is, are you listening?